Warning, this video may contain very graphic images and very dark themes. Welcome. This is the series finale for Plastic. If you have made it to this point, you are a G. This is your first video and you want to catch up. Go check out the Plastic playlist in my channel. Now, let us get into it because someone precious has passed away and she was precious to a whole lot of people. So her death must be answered. Sporks were being collected because, as we know, sporks are superior. But during all of this, a call was received continuously. Edwin, knowing exactly who this person was, picked up the call and said simply, "Where is Booker?" Over the phone, the trafficker asked back, "Where is Cricket?" Looking at Cricket dead in her eye, he said, "I don't know. She's not here." The trafficker laughed. "Well, you better find her before I do this kid like I did his mother." And he told me, "You have the hots for a girl named Virginia. Don't make me track her down." But that was a big mistake. You do not threaten Virginia, especially not to Edwin. He simply said, "We do not say such things." If you're new to Plastic, that simply just means I'm going to find you and I'm going to murder you hard. But even he knew, yeah, I'm going to need some backup. So he went to look for the FBI agents. Surprisingly, they were already dispatched from this world by him. And if you know him, death is not even a concept to him. He still thought they were alive. Matter of fact, he was still holding a conversation with them, asking them if they could cover his back, like be his support. He was a sicko, and we'd love to see it. It got to a point, he was like, "Ooh, that looks tight. Let me loosen it for you." Bruh, they were dead already. Yeah, but back to business. These guys didn't know what they were in for. I mean, they had the weaponry, they had grenades, they had blades. Even some of them had Tech 9s, but that would not help. In this universe, the only person that could take down a serial is another serial. And just like we saw in the past, the lights started to tweak out. The only person who knew what was happening was Booker himself, because he was blind and he could notice people by the way they walk. And he sure as shit knew Edwin's walk. Under the cover of darkness, Edwin went to work. With his saw, he was splitting skull, taking heads. He didn't even need those weapons. All he needed was his spork, because we know sporks are superior. And his bare hands. He was ripping people's heads in half. He was no normal man. And this should come as no surprise, because he wasn't no normal kid. His mother had just died. And he wasn't crying, nah, he wanted revenge. He filled all of his pockets with sporks and found the bastard Cassidy. Cassidy tried to beg, "Edwin, I'm so sorry. It was an accident, I swear." "Bitch, you strangled her." "That wasn't no accident." And Edwin knew it. He simply said, "No." The no was so profound, it must have waken up Cassidy to realize he was begging a kid. He picked up Virginia and tossed her away. "I'll just do you like I did your mother." Edwin watched this happen again. "You threw away Birdie. Now Virginia, I am going to kill you so hard." But right now in the present, he had to get Booker out of here. This place was no place for a blind guy, especially because he was being flooded. But then he stopped dead in his tracks because he knew someone was there. He called out to Cricket, "I told you to stay in the car." Clearly not a fan of people around him when he was doing his work, and he did his work well. And right now the trafficker was noticing this for the first time. Edwin was no punk. You disrespected the wrong man. But he still wanted to fight. He screamed his name, "Edwin, come and die." The look on Edwin's face, however, was pure boredom. He said, "Aight, Cricket, take Booker outside. Leave this prick to me. I'm going to need some sporks." He started taking down sporks like he was taking down fruits. And when they asked, he simply said, "Yeah, it's for protection." What was about to happen was not even in his hands no more. He didn't cause this, but the trafficker seemed to have some found confidence. He thought this was fun. I should do this more often. When this is done, I'm stepping into the life. He wanted to become a serial himself. Known to him, he did not have what it takes. Edwin told him to drop her down, and he tossed her aside like a rag doll, saying, "Finally, I get to bash your head in." But Edwin was not even giving him the time of day. He was too busy taking out more sporks, saying, all this could have been avoided. But you and your people decided to cross a line. You killed my boss. You fucked with my best friend. You messed with Cricket and Virginia. Your death will not be quick. He was clearly being underestimated, just like when he was a kid. Cassidy thought, hey, I'm going to beat you down, and you will do nothing about it. But Homeboy still had his Sporks, and as we know, Sporks are superior. With one stab, he brought Homeboy to his knees. He was looking at him eyeball to eyeball. Cassidy was begging, I need the hospital, I'm going to bleed out. But he said, yeah, my mother needed the hospital as well. He went in on him with this Spork. No holding back, no remorse. Just like now, this prick was lashing out. But he wasn't watching Edwin, because Edwin was definitely watching him. He was feeding him them Sporks. Edwin was so smooth with it, this prick didn't even notice. He kept screaming like he was winning, lashing out, this is all your fault, but Edwin just kept feeding him Spork after Spork after Spork. It got so bad, he pulled out a gun and aimed at Edwin's head, but Edwin didn't even move. He just used his hand, shattered his wrist, and in a nanosecond, he grabbed 8 Sporks and plunged them into areas of his body like... He was too astonished to speak. He couldn't even stand no more. There was a Spork in his cheek, bro. Edwin hovered like Batman, getting in close. This is the part where I take your head, but I don't have my saw, so we're going to have to use a Spork. But from the corner, he felt his saw on his shoulder. It was Booker. He wanted revenge. He simply said, do it for my mother. And Edwin had no choice, because he made his mother a promise. You take the head when you want the soul to pass on. It was the right thing to do, even for your enemies. But sometimes, he just didn't want the soul to pass on, especially for jerks like this. He decided not to take the head of Cassidy, but he was going to take the head of this trafficker. He told Booker to close his ears, and he went to work. His head went flying with $1.37 written on his head. The mission was over. He had found Virginia. Even Booker could tell. You're not staying, are you? He said, nah, I have everything I love. My mother is in the car. So is the love of my life. You two deserve better. Watch each other's backs, okay? Cricket was so thankful she kissed him on the cheek. He was a serial, but at this moment he was just a friend. Even Booker was like goodbye, advising him not to kill for a while. But Edwin said, yeah, I'm done with that. I'm a happy man. Looking at his car at Virginia, he smiled and walked towards it and got in. Saying goodbye to Cricket and Booker one last time, him and Virginia set off for a new adventure. Flash forward to the events of the first volume though. We know that him and Virginia went out in a blaze of glory. But did he really die? Nah, you can't keep a good serial down. The only problem was, the plastic Virginia was made of was grafted onto his flesh. Now they were truly inseparable, and we know a lot of madness is going to come from this, and I can't wait to see it.